Ano ba ang gagawin natin sa ating classroom assessment, sa grading, at sa pagtatapos ng taon for the awards and recognition.
Welcome to the Learning and Development Channel, where you can learn, lead, and make a difference.
Maayong hapon sa inyong tanan. Tama po ba? Maupay na hapon sa inyong tanan. Okay po. So just to continue the discussion of ASEC Jerome regarding classroom assessment, grading and awards and recognition. So this is also proposed policy so far kasi hindi pa po natin ito na-issue. So it's still 95% of the policies in the routing stage na po. So perhaps nasa in 1 week or 2 weeks meron na po tayong result of those approval from our, of course, higher officials. All right. So this policy try to amend or repeal 2 major policies natin sa classroom assessments, sa awards, and sa grading. So we have the DO 8 of series of 2013 and DO 36 series of 2016. So alam naman na po natin yan, no? Classroom assessment and awards and recognition. So why are we trying to repeal this policy? So there are reports from the EDCOM 2 and as well based from our consultations, based from our review of the policy, we have identified basically these 3 things. Number 1, grade inflation or mismatch. So when we say grade inflation, yung mga learners natin tend to have a higher grade than what they are really learned from the class. Tama po. So when we say grade inflation, mataas ang nakukuhang marka, pero hindi yun ang kanyang kabuuang natutunan. Okay po. And that is mismatch. Kasi ibig sabihin, si learner, mataas ang marka, expected natin na nakuha niya yung skill, nakuha niya yung competency, but of course, hindi ganun yung nangyayari. Minsan si teacher, kailangan pa niyang, in the higher grade level, kailangan pa niyang magkaroon ng recall, magkaroon pa ng mga various activities to provide scaffolding kung ano yung natutunan niya on the previous grade level. Second is yung assessment practice natin, and especially dun sa pagbibigay ng maraming assessments. So yung the quantity of assessment overpower the quality of the assessment. Yung nagbibigay ng maraming activities, maraming assessment activities, which provide overload assessment to our learner. Napapagod sila pero yung kanila quality of learning is not really equivalent to the number of assessments they have achieved. And finally, mass promotion perception. This is a perception only because we know wala naman pong DepEd policy that states explicitly that mass promotion is really applied. Tama po? So dito, napapansin natin yung mga bata, nakakarating sila sa secondary level, sa high school, even sa senior high school na hindi sapat yung kanilang foundational skill. So parang ipinasa na lang sila from elementary to secondary hanggang marating nila yung perhaps senior high school. Alright? So dito nakikita natin na yung grades na nakukuha ng mga bata is not really reflective of what they have really achieved in that grade level. So through these reasons, through these observations and reports from the EDCOM as well as dun sa mga results ng ating national assessments, sa NAT and even the international large scale assessments, we try to provide a revision of these guidelines on grading systems, classroom assessment, and awards and recognition. All right. So next slide would tell us what would be the major changes that would happen for these guidelines when this would be implemented. Number 1, we will be shifting to descriptive grading for Key Stage 1. Okay po, Key Stage 1, Kinder, Grade 1, Grade 2, and Grade 3. So that is our target. So the focus here is not to provide learners with numeric grades. Kasi at this stage, this is more appropriate for a higher grade. So kinukonsider natin yung developmentally appropriate practices for our Key Stage 1 learners. So yung ating mga kindergarten, they have already implemented this. Alam po natin yun, sa kindergarten, wala po tayong grades. So we will be extending this into grade 1, 2, and 3. And I think this morning, na-mention natin, for the next school year, we'll be having Kinder, Grade 1, and Grade 2. And the next school year 2027 to 2028, we will now be having the complete Key Stage 1 having descriptive grading. So ito po yung ating grading descriptors for kinder, yung nasa lower part. And yung upper part, yung ating for grades 1, 2, and 3. For example, advancing, benchmarking, developing, connecting, developing, and emerging. And I know na experience natin to during perhaps 2012, 13 and 14, meron rin tayong nangyari na parang descriptive grading. If you can remember that, no? Ang nangyari noon, nag-grade pa rin tayo sa mga bata, kino-convert lang natin sa numeric grades o sa descriptive grades or rating. But here, the teachers would be provided with rubrics. So yung rubrics na yun, yung magiging basis ni teacher na from the beginning, descriptive rating na po ang ibibigay niya sa mga bata. So later on po, bibigyan po natin kayo ng idea anong itsura ng SF9 progress report for the descriptive grading practice. And second naman, on the right side of the screen, this would now be our proposal. Sabi natin kanina, no, yung grades hindi siya totally reflective of the skills attained by the learner. So magkaiba yung computed grades sa actual benchmark competency ng ating learner. So dito, we are trying now to provide zero-based grading system by school year 2027 to 2028. So this coming school year would be a transition year for the zero-based grading system to happen. And through that, we will be providing a adjusted transmutation table. So sa current transmutation table natin, the 75 grade or mark in our report, progress report, is equivalent to 60 initial grade. Tama po? So nakita niyo yung jump from 60, report natin siya to 75. Then we are trying now to eliminate transmutation table, but for the next school year or this coming school year, we will try to limit or decrease the interval. So we'll be having the initial grade of 70. Initial grade of 70, that would now be reported as 75 in the report card. Then after that year, next school year, then we'll have now the zero-based grading system so that we could now see that what actually performed or attained by the learner, it's what's really reported in their progress report or performance report. Next slide. Another important aspect to attain this sa grading system is also to provide formative assessment. Kasi yung grade natin, di ba, nakabase siya on how we do assessments in class. So of course, it is through formative assessment and summative assessment. So yung formative assessment to just make it more intentional, purposive, and consensuously done in our classroom. We introduced the model. So this is called SRU model. So this is a cycle that we would now be putting into our practice that every lesson should have this in such a way that si teacher alam niya na nagpo-formative assessment siya. So hindi lang siya nagbibigay ng activity, hindi lang siya nagbibigay ng questions, but nagagamit niya yung result ng formative feedback to adjust instruction and as well to measure learning of our learners. So yun po yung mga acronym for SRU, yung elicit, student response, then recognize, meaning na-interpret ni teacher yung sagot ng mga bata, na-recognize ni teacher yung sagot ng bata, then later on use. The teacher will use the response of the learner as formative assessment to adjust instruction and as well to see if learners are really learning on this lesson. And if you would notice, it works within the lesson and between the lesson. So nagkakaroon tayo ng build-up of that formative assessment function as assessment for learning until we reach the summative assessment. And we know the summative assessment, sa mga nagbasa po kanina, meron po tayong 3 forms of summative assessment: written or oral works, performance tasks, and summative tests and term examination. Yun po yung na-discuss kanina ni Asek before I give the presentation. So yung written works, or oral works and performance tasks, present naman po ito in the current nating assessment practice. But now in our revised guidelines, will be putting more importance on the performance task. Having now the performance task as application of learning, putting more importance to that as 50% sa mga core subjects. All right? Sa TLE, for example, and MAPE, which is really more of hands-on activity, they would be having 60% performance task. All right? So all of those things, yung kanyang table for those weight distribution, nasa actual policy naman po natin yan. All right. So this is now the awards and recognition. So how are the learners being awarded at the end of the term? So of course, the key stage 1, since this is descriptive grading, so there will be no formal awards or academic awards. So of course, they would be recognized through their efforts, through how they improve in class, and as well to the development of their values, traits, and character. Okay, so may mga awards pa rin po tayo on character traits, right? And the emphasis is more of the love of learning and how they would really improve yung kanilang learning experience, right? For key stage 2 to key stage 4, ayan, meron na tayo dyan academic awards because it's now rating or it's now numeric rate graded. So it would have the academic excellence. Okay, hindi po na siya yung katulad ng practice natin ngayon with honors, with high honors, with the high honors. Isa na lang po, Academic Excellence Award. And who are the learners would be provided or given with this? Those who would have 95% general average and with no failing grade. So, ibig sabihin natin, yung current practice natin na 90, itinaas natin siya 4 to 95. That's to really provide or maintain the value of having an Academic Excellence Award. So pag sinabing ikaw ay Academic Excellence Awardee, you are really a cut above the rest. Right? So there's also leadership awards, of course, to our student leaders sa mga clubs natin. We also have the excellent specific disciplines, various learning areas, and as well, special recognition, those learners who achieved in various competitions, regional or national or even international levels. And as well, for the senior high school, alam natin may mga subjects sila. For example, work immersion, yung kanina diniscuss po natin, yung field exposure, and so on, even the awards for research and innovation. So those would also be provided to our senior high school learners. All right, and to summarize, so this would now be the summary of those before and after conditions. So siguro po yung hindi na lang natin dito na-discuss is yung AI. Okay, so in assessment, in a formative and summative assessment, there will now be a provision on how AI is being used in assessment. So may 3 categories po doon: AI prohibited, AI limited, and AI allowed. Siyempre, alam natin, pag AI prohibited, hindi pwede si teacher at si learner gumamit ng AI. For example, si learner during assessment test or during summative test or term examination, bawal siyempre siyang mag-AI. Alright? Si teacher, sa kanyang practice, ano yung mga pwede niyang gamitan ng AI but on limited form? Or pwede niyang gamitin in extensive form, but of course, there's still need to use his or her critical thinking. Example, making of rubrics, making of parallel items sa mga exams, or even yung evaluate ng mga learning output natin ng mga bata, no, if they are falling into our rubrics. So doon po sa ating revised policy, may table po tayo doon on what would be those practices by teacher and learners that are not allowed or prohibited through the use of AI, with the limited use of AI, or with extensive use of AI, as long as the teachers is encouraged to isulat po doon to recognize kung anong AI tool po yung kanyang ginamit on assessment. And I think that is also part of the policy sa lesson planning. Sa lesson planning po kasi meron din po siyang part doon on what AI tool the teacher has used in the preparation of the activities, of the various tasks provided to our teacher. All right, so this is now the feature sample template for SF9. Okay, ito po yung sa ating key stage 1. Right po? So highlighted here are some of the competencies kung siya ay numeracy or literacy. Pero ang gagawin na lang ni teacher, it would just be putting A, B, C, D, or E. All right? Then this would now be the template for grades 4 to 6. So this would now be numeric, very similar to what we are using. But of course, the grades are in terms of the term 1, term 2, or term 3. And of course, this would now be for the senior high school for grade 11, which has the core subjects and some elective subjects. And on the grade 12, academic track lang po yung kanina natin, in-indicate natin dito kasi sa Tech Pro, medyo komplikado po yun, no? So that the school could have a different sample of this depending on what the learner, what the subjects being offered to our learners in the Tech Pro program. All right? So I'm turning over again to ASEC Jerome for the continuation po of our activity.
At tapos na tayo, okay, mag-alala. Palakpakan natin si Sir July. Okay. Before I close, dalawa na lang yung activities pero these are takeaways. I'd like to go back 3 slides away para lang mabigyan natin ng emphasis. Ito. Isa pa. Yan. Sa kindergarten, hanggang grade 3, wala nang awards na honors. Okay? Wala nang awards. Ang focus nila ng awards, character traits. So wala nang with IE honors kasi it's too early for their age to teach them competition. Are you getting the point? Karamihan na nagre-reklamong magulang, yun yung mga nagagalit kasi sila yung gumagawa ng project. Tapos sasabihin nila, anak, 90 lang yan? Nagpuya tayong dalawa? 90 lang yan? Yun. Sa key stages 2 to 4, ito ang lagi sinasabi, again, this is subject for finalization. We are doing simulation kasi marami ng mga reaksyon. Sa academic excellence, hindi na iraranggo sila ng honors, with high honors, with the highest honors. Hindi na. Isa na lang. Academic excellence. Sa totoong buhay, itong unang punto para maipaliwanag yung mabuti. Sa tunay na buhay, we have to normalize being very good. Dapat normal sa atin na magaling tayo. Dapat normal sa buhay ang pagiging magaling. Ang pagiging magaling dapat normal. Pero yung pagiging exemplar, yung pagiging brilliant, ayun dapat ang nire-recognize. Are you with me? If we maintain the 95%, that would mean upper 5% of the batch. Exceptional. Kaya hindi na mangyayari yung parang lahat na lang may awards. And in the Academic Excellence Award, they will be recognized in alphabetical order. So lahat ng makakuha ng 95 above, pag umakyat sila sa stage, alphabetical order. Kung grade 12, kailangan sa scholarship, pwede sila mag-request, individual request, bibigyan sila ng request kung ano ang rank nila for Presidential Merit Scholarship. Did you get it? Okay? So ito yung mga changes. Again, we have to wait because this is now at the table of secretary and we hope that this will be released anytime this week or next week. Kung may adjustment man, disclaimer, mga 90 to 95% na yan na siya. Kaunting-kaunti na lang. Okay? Next slide. Okay. Sa end of term block, next slide na. Sa end of term block, konti na lang to. Gagawin na lang natin siya from your checklist. Gagawin na lang natin siyang take away. Next slide. Next. Okay. Balik muna. So ito yung sample sa DO9. Sa pa. Okay, ang general principle niya ganito. Unang linggo, 5 araw, dapat nangyayari yung tatlong yan. May aral program kung kailangan, remediation kung kailangan, computation and grades, co-curricular activities. On the second week, dapat nagbibigay ka ng card o performance report. Dito nagaganap ang in-service ng training ng teachers. 4 na araw, walang pasok ang bata. To give way for the teachers to do activities, inset, and then kasabay ng teachers. Doon sa 4 na araw na yan, hindi yan purely walang ginagawa. Let's take the next slide. Ito ang sample ng schedule. So gagawa ka ng schedule, halimbawa sa umaga, first 2 hours, wala pang bata sa loob ng school, nagko-compute, nagpa-finalize ang teachers. Are you getting the point? And then, 9:00, doon palang papasok ang mga bata. Meron kang 10 oras sa isang linggo para matapos ang report. Bad pa ba yun? Di ba? May 10 oras ka na nakaspread all over the week, na noon ay wala. At again, hindi mo naman ito gagawin on that week lang. Di Di ba pag nagko-compute tayo ng grades, ang ginagawa natin per column, doon na lang ka sa dulo mag-average. Pero meron ka na niyang entry after each term. Dito natin gagawin yung mga activities. Sa example na ito, 10 a.m. onwards. Tapos makita natin, pwede mag-distribution ng performance report ng day 6. Day 7 and 8, nag-i-inset ang teacher, pero bakasyon na ang teacher at bata dito. Yung open-close parentheses, take note. Guided asynchronous activities on learning experiences from term. Anong ginagawa dyan? Naalala niyo nung araw, meron tayong what did you do last summer? Alala niyo yun? So, meron tayong mga activity sheet na ibibigay sa bata, answerable in 1 to 2 hours, spread in 4 days. Habang nasa bakasyon sila, they will reflect and say, halimbawa, key stage 1, iguhit ang iyong karanasan sa buong term 1. Sabihin ang mga masasayang experiences at ano naman yung mga bagay na gusto mo pang mangyari sa iyo bilang isang mag-aaral. Nakuha nyo ba? Yung mga activities, hindi kayo mag-iisip kasi ida-download namin sa inyo. I-implement nyo lang siya. Okay? So, ibig sabihin ko, kolektahin lang, babasahin ng teacher, para meron siyang reflection, ito pala ang palagay ng estudyante ko sa buong term. So documented siya, may closure ang buhay bawat term. Did you get it? Okay, next slide. So ito naman, alas 8 ka nagsimula, in-adjust mo lang siya. Next slide. Ito naman, days 1 and 2, nag-aral program ka doon, wala pang activity, nag-compute lang ng grades, dito kayo nag-activity. Again, sample. Sample lang. Tapos, ganun uli. Next slide. Ito yung sinasabi ko, galing to sa Region 8. You should be very proud. Nung nag-workshop kami, galing ito sa Region 8, sabi nila, sir, dapat merong ginagawa ng learners, ginagawa ng teacher. Para sa monitoring, alam natin kung anong nangyayari sa school. Okay? So, sa monitoring tool natin, ganito ang isasubmit natin sa division office. Then to the region. Para alam natin sa bawat paaralan, ganito nila nakikita ang end of term block. Gets ba? Next slide. Okay. Doon sa ating worksheet, meron kayo ditong ganito. End of term block. September 2 to 15. So, take away work nyo na to. Bring it home. Okay? Discuss it with your teachers and ask, what activities will we do at the end of term block? Paano natin siya gagawin? You can refer to the samples, but this will be done outside. No? Next slide. At sa dulo, meron pa kaming isang worksheet. And this is the summary of how ready are you as a school head. You can answer them, rating yourself from 1 to 10, and then ang pinaka-importante dito, itong last column. Ano ang ways forward ko? Ano ang mga gagawin ko pa bilang isang school head? Or scan the code now. You may not accomplish it now. You can accomplish it later on. Next slide. If you need more information, you can go to this. You can email this email addresses for specific clarification. Hindi namin kailangan gawin ito kung gusto namin ganito pa rin ang kalalabasan natin. But we challenge the status quo kasi alam natin pwedeng may magbago kung babaguhin natin ang paraan natin. Are you with me? Panghuli, total pagod na rin lang tayo, mapagod tayo ng may saysay. Kesa naman pagod ka, pero ginagawa mo lang kung anong nakagawian at wala namang nagbabago. Magandang hapon, maupay nga pulo, patanan, maraming salamat.
Like and subscribe to the L&D channel on YouTube using the link youtube.com/@learntolead channel.